Today we are going to discuss the new tarping system that we are using at Greywolf. We will talk about why we are using this tarp system and what is involved in the installation of the tarps. Why we are doing this? That's pretty easy. We want to stop sodding the greens in the spring. Sodding has become necessary due to turf loss from the formation of ice on our greens. Ice accumulation has occurred because of winter rains in November through February. Ice causes low temperature kill or crown hydration in the spring. No matter what the form of damage, ice is lethal to our turf. The first step in the tarp installation is to place monitoring equipment on the surface of each green. Temperature probes are placed at the front, middle, and back of the green surface. All the probes connect to a data logger. The data logger takes readings from the probes every 30 minutes. The data loggers also track the air temperature at each green site. A small tube is also placed in the middle of the green. This will allow us to sample the oxygen and carbon dioxide levels under the tarp. More on this later. The next step of the installation is to install the vent tubing onto the surface of the greens. This tubing is a plastic bag that runs the length of the green and can be inflated to about a 1 foot diameter. The tubing has 1-inch holes in it every foot. 3 to 4 tubes are installed on each green. To prevent the tubing from blowing away during installation, bricks are installed until the next step of the process. At the front of each green, the vent tubes are connected to a central manifold system. The venting system allows us to move fresh air under the tarps when oxygen and carbon dioxide levels indicate it is needed. The next step is to install bubble wrap on the surface of the greens. Bubble wrap assists in insulating the greens as well as creating channels for air to move around when venting occurs. This is one of the most labor-intensive portions of the installation, as wind can wreak havoc during this phase. The bubble wrap sheets are 12 feet wide and 100 feet long. They are installed bubbles down and are nailed down as installation occurs. Each green takes about 8 rolls per green. This year we used 100 rolls of bubble wrap and 11 tarps on our most challenging greens. This is what 100 rolls of bubble wrap and tarps look like in a turf maintenance facility. During the installation of the bubble wrap, each piece is given a code and charted so we can put the puzzle back together in future years. It is key to remove all the bricks as the bubble wrap is installed. Occasionally, we had a problem with this step. The next step is to install the impermeable ice shield made by Green Jacket. The tarp is made of a reinforced plastic material that is tear resistant. It covers everything that has been installed up until now and extends beyond the margins of the green. It prevents water from coming into contact with the green surface. It is stretched across the green surface and then secured every 4 feet with a reinforcing tab, a grommet, and a 12-inch spike. Each green has over 100 spikes securing the tarp to the ground. It is critical that the tarp is secured as tight as possible to the ground to prevent water from running under the surface of the tarp. Sandbags are installed in areas where runoff is a concern. In areas with severe slopes surrounding the greens, the sod has been cut back and the tarp staked in the sod trench. The sod has then been replaced and sandbagging has occurred as an extra precaution. 700 sandbags have been installed to date. Finally, a fence is installed to prevent damage from wildlife and skiers. Every week throughout the winter, the greens are monitored. This is done via the data loggers and by sampling the gas levels under the tarps using a gas sampling meter. This is because the turf and the soil microorganisms may not be dormant under the tarps. They may be using oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide due to respiration. If oxygen ran out under the tarps, anoxia would occur. This condition would be lethal to the turf and the soil microorganisms. If oxygen and carbon dioxide levels reach their predetermined threshold levels, air exchange will be accomplished by using backpack blowers connected to the manifold system to blow fresh air under the tarps. Here's what the entire process looks like on our practice green. This is 2 hours of work in 2 minutes. Although this tarping system cannot guarantee winter survival and healthy turf in the spring, it is the best protection tool available to prevent ice formation. Stay tuned for updates.